PSX was great. So this last weekend I was at PlayStation Experience, which for its third year was at Anaheim Convention Center, which finally I was able to attend in person. Now this event specializes in PlayStation, everything, and it was awesome. So as soon as I found out that it was going to be in Anaheim, it was finally going to be close to me, I knew I had to go and buy my ticket like there. I knew I was going to be there. Like, there's no way I was gonna miss it. So I got my ticket and I got everything set. So all I had to do was just wait till December 3rd. So like a day before the event, I knew I wanted to pick up my badge a day before, because I know there's the showcase where they show off all the new games, and I wanted to ensure that I had a place in line and was able to get inside. So I went to the convention center a day early and I went and got my bag. Now the bag actually had some pretty cool stuff in. You got this PlayStation shirt, which is pretty nice. You get like a PlayStation water bottle, you get some terrible sunglasses, you get hand sanitizer, which you need because you're touching all these controllers, you don't know whose hands were on it, so you need the hand sanitizer. You get poster, you get a free theme. They hooked up the bag like that. It was a pretty cool bag, but that's not what I went to PSX for. I went for the games. I went to go see some stuff, play some games, and talk the talk. And that's where day one started. So day one, I was hype. I woke up real early in the morning. I got my bag packed. I got all the essentials I needed. And I made my way out to Anaheim Convention Center. Once I got there, I was finally set. It's like, okay, I'm here. It is now the time. I am ready. And I was like, oh, this shouldn't be too bad. It's 7:30. The doors probably don't open till 9. I should probably have a way to get in. It should be fine. The line shouldn't be too long. And boy, was I wrong. Because the line to get in wrapped around for ages. It went and it went. I was looking, I was walking, and I just kept seeing people and peoples. And I pretty much walked the entire line to get to the point where I was. And it took me quite a ways to get there. So then I finally made it into my spot in line. And I was looking, I was like, am I even gonna make it in? Because with how long the line was, I knew, like, I may not make it in. I may be cut off like a few people in front of me. So I sat in line for a bit, I checked Twitter, I did the standard things. And then, thankfully, they finally started letting people in, and the line was moving pretty smoothly. Everything was going pretty well. And I got scared because I was near the front, and we were stopped for a long time, like a good few minutes. And thankfully, we got in. And when I got my seat, I got inside, the area was real cool. I got my seat, I was all ready. Apparently a few people behind me said they cut the line off like 10 people back. So if I hadn't have gotten in the line when I did, I would not have been inside. I would have had to watch it outside, and thankfully I made it in. So then the showcase started, and they went off this year. They announced a lot of really, really cool games, and I don't know if I can go into all of them, but here's what I'll say. The Last of Us 2. Bravo. That was an amazing announcement. That was a perfect way to close TSX off for the showcase. They not just show gameplay, they just showed that it's coming and that we're gonna get a continuation for this. And I was excited for that. Crash Bandicoot Remastered, which I'm going to talk about later because I have a lot to say about that game. But man, Knack 2, Knack is back. Like I will admit, Knack is a game it's a game that I really enjoy. Even though it might not be the best game on the PS4, Knack still is very enjoyable. It gets a bad rap. So I was actually excited for Knack 2. It's like the one person there I was like, yeah, Knack. And Uncharted 4 DLC with Chloe, I'm definitely gonna play that one. Like Uncharted 4 was great, and I want to see what they're gonna do with that. Like Uncharted hasn't ever gotten single player DLC, so I want to see what they can do. Because Left Behind was a fantastic DLC expansion, so I'd love to see what they're gonna do with this story. Man, there's a lot of stuff they talked about. Marvel was hype. Things got crazy in there when Marvel was announced. Even though people figured they might show it there, it was still really cool to see. And seeing the gameplay of it later, I think things are looking pretty good for that game. I'm looking forward to it. Overall, that showcase was really amazing, and it's really cool being in the audience there compared to watching it at home. Like, I'd be really excited when I was watching it at home, but being actually there makes it really cool, because you really get to see and feel like the hype in the room when a big game is announced. And I really enjoyed that part. Then finally, the showcase ends, and it's time to walk the show floor for the first time. So I really don't know where to look. Like, in front of me, there's the Beast from Horizon Zero Dawn, but I also see Resident Evil, I see Capcom, I see Street Fighter. I'm looking to the left and right. It's like there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't know which direction to head. So this is where I just walking around and I see PSVR booth, and there's not a line. So I just walked straight in, no line at all, and I went and played some PSVR. So the game I actually checked out, it was called Dino Frontier, and how it worked was that you pretty much ran this colony and you could set them to different goals. You could have people go out and look for food, people go out and hunt, get trees, fight raptors. Like, it was pretty cool. It was my first time actually using PSVR, and I thought it was a pretty nice title. Like, I might check it out whenever I do get PSVR. It seems like if it's like a $10 game, I might pick that up. It was pretty fun. So after that, I walked around the floor a bit more, and I decided I want to try and get into another demo for a game. So I see Crash Bandicoot. I see it doesn't have that long of a line, so I got right in there and waited. And let me tell you, that game looks much better in person. It looks great in video, but in person, it looks really good. It plays exactly the same, and it feels exactly the same as I played it back in the day. Which to some might be bad because Crash Bandicoot still plays kind of off in cases, but I still enjoy it. I thought it was a very fun game, and it still holds up. I'm very much looking forward to the rest of that game, especially with Warped. I want to see what they're going to do with that game. That's my personal favorite Crash game in the series. That game still retains all the style and charm, and they're doing a great job over there with that game. They sold me when they announced it, but they really sold me when I played it. And it was pretty cool. So another game I also checked out that was close by was Parappa the Rapper, which had a demo that was also available online for people at home, but they had the PS4 Pro version there, and it's really cool to see that game in 4K. Like, seeing how it looked back on the PS1 and seeing all the textures just upgraded, it looks really nice. The only thing, I don't know if it was the TV or the calibration, but it felt like there was some input delay for me. Maybe I was off, but it just felt like there was a slight delay. And maybe they fixed it. Maybe it's gonna be fixed later on. Like I think that's one of the big things they have to fix is the input delay now. But it still was very cool to see. Like I was playing, I was getting down. It was really cool. So after all that, I decided to walk the show floor a little bit more, checking out some of the other stuff on the other side of the convention, back behind the showcase, where they had Last Guardian, they had GT Sports, and they had Neo and Drawn to Death. And I decided, you know what, I'll check out Neo again, even though I played that game to death with the beta and the trial that came out early this year, both of them. I still decided to play it again to see how it was. And let me tell you, I got my ass kicked in Neo more than I ever have at home. Like, I don't know what happened, but I got destroyed. There's no footage of it. But just imagine somebody failing at every possible way. Like, it was bad. Still fun. Like, still was really cool. Looked great, because they had it running on the PS4 Pro. But, ooh, I got destroyed. And that game's still great. Still buying that one day one. Last Guardian I wasn't going to check out because it comes out like tomorrow or whenever this video's up, so there's no point to really get it. I don't want to spoil myself in that game. I don't want to sully my experience by playing it there when I can play it on the couch, I can have my headphones on, and I can just be right in there. But that was there, that was cool. And at this point I knew, okay, the time was getting there. It was about to be time for the Kojima production panel. So I made my way to the floor, made it inside the showcase, I got my seat, and I patiently waited for the panel to start. So I nervously waited. I was very excited for this panel. I was really interested, wanted to see Kojima in person, but also I wanted to see more about this game, and I wanted to see what that trailer even was. They said they were going to talk about it. And there he was, Hideo Kojima. And the panel was excellent. It was a great panel. I thought the recut trailer with Low Roar was really cool. And it does, like he said, it does add another dynamic to that trailer. And yet again, a Hideo Kojima trailer, like the music for it is now stuck in my head. I cannot stop listening to that song now. But that seems to always happen. Like when Nuclear came out, it took me weeks to get off that song. So I finished watching the panel. The panel was great, and I knew, okay, I want to go to the autograph signing. I have my copy of MGS3 in my bag. I want to get that signed. And I probably should have headed in that direction way earlier, but I unfortunately was not able to get an autograph. So it was unfortunate, but I was like, yeah, it was fine. I still got to see him, and there's always next time. Because the line apparently was huge. Apparently you needed tickets for it, so there was no way. I think you had to like be there early to get that. So I wasn't able to get it, but still all good. So then after that I decided, you know, it's time to go play some more games. Like, the panel's good. That was like the last panel for the day until Capcom Cup. So now it's time to go play some more games. And I played a bunch of stuff. I went now to the indie games. I wanted to go check out some indies. And there were a lot of really cool indie games that I checked out. There was one really cool one. It was Future Grind, where you were on this bike that had a purple wheel and a blue wheel, and you had to platform your bike, and you had to land on the blue part with the blue wheel, and it was pretty addicting. It was really difficult and kind of hard to get used to at first, but once you get it,
it becomes a very fun game to play, and I enjoyed it quite a bit to the point where I will probably pick it up when this game comes out.
So after all the indies and all the stuff with that, I decided to go check out some bigger stuff, try to go check out some stuff that had some longer lines. So I went and tried out Uncharted 4's new survival mode that is coming, and it was pretty cool. It's if you played a survival or a horde mode, then you played it, but it was pretty cool with that. Like, I had fun with that. I died quite a bit, but overall I enjoyed that one. It was pretty cool. After that, I decided, let me try to get into one more VR thing, and I knew there was the Psychonauts VR, so I went and checked that out. I waited in line for like an hour. I got to meet Tim Schafer, which I've went back and forth with Tim Schafer before. I've gone on, like, I had respect for him, and he said some stuff and it went down. So I was like, you know what, I'll say hey. I hadn't signed my full throttle card, and I got a chance to play Psychonauts VR, and it was a pretty cool little experience. I enjoyed that one, even though it was a little weird and kind of keep looking around and stuff, but it was nice. After that, I knew the night was coming to a close soon. It was about 9 o'clock or so, and I knew I had to go check out some more of the Capcom Cup. I'd already been there when it started, so I went and checked out the Capcom Cup for a bit, and it got hype. Capcom Cup was pretty great. A lot of great matches there, and it was a great way to end the night off. And with that, I headed out a little early, about 9:30 or so. I left the building, and that drew day one of PSX to a close. So now, day two begins, bright and early yet again, heading on my way to the convention center. And I was like, you know what, I don't have to worry about lines now. It's fine, I can get in, it'll be like 10 o'clock and just walk in. But there was yet again another long line. But I made it in, I got in line and came Line Simulator yet again. But it wasn't too bad. It wasn't like the line from day one, but it was still like pretty fast. Once they started getting people in, 4 lines, it was pretty quick. So day 2 I knew, okay, now I need to check out some bigger stuff. Let me try and see everything. I had a hit list on my hands before. So I need to actually explain this now. So for PSX there's an app called the Experience App 2016. And what this does is when you go to PSX, at most booths you can get your badge scanned. And what this does is that you can hook it up to the Experience app and you get free stuff for going to certain booths or attaining a certain amount of booths gone to. And I had about 13 I had hit the first day. I knew I had to hit 20. So I was going to booth after booth playing games, checking stuff out. And I was like, that card stinks. Like before PSA, like I won't be collecting those cards. Day 1, I was like, I need to collect. I was like, this is pretty cool. Day 2, I was like, give me these cards. I was on a list. I got bronze, got silver, gold, and platinum. So I hit 20 booths, probably even more. I got addicted to the cards. I got a bunch of them. I got like 6 of these Resident Evil cards for no reason. It was a pretty interesting side thing to the expo, just collecting these and trying to see how many I can collect. Like I gotta catch them all. So with day 2, one of the biggest games I got to play was Horizon Zero Dawn. I finally got to check that game out, and it was really cool finally getting to play that game. Like, it's the only thing that sucked about the demo was it's a really small contained area, so you can't really explore. But finally being able to play the mechanics with the arrow and tripping them to the floor, like all of that was really cool. And I think that game is going to be awesome to play. I'm looking forward to Horizon Zero Dawn much more now. So I feel confident that Guerrilla's going to do a great job in that game. So I also went and checked out some more VR. and I played probably my favorite VR game of the Expo, Starblood Arena, which is a 6-player space shooter, and it gets really hectic in that game. Like, you have to keep looking left and right, and there's people shooting from above and shooting from the left and right, and it was a long wait to get into that game, but I would say it was worth it in the end. It was a really cool VR game. And there's another definite VR title that when I do get my headset, that will be a purchase for me, easily. And since I talked about the best VR game, let me talk about the worst VR game I played. That easily goes to NBA 2K VR. Boy, that was a waste of a ticket. So, this is actually day one, I forgot to mention this. So day one, I went earlier past the VR booth and I just got a ticket. Said, okay, come back here at this time, you can just get right in. So I got that and I was like, he's like, what games do you want to play? Like, we have one open right now. Here's NBA 2K. I was like, fine, I'll play that. That was a big mistake. That game sucked. It was like you had the headset and you had balls to the right of you and you had to like look down and then shoot it, and it wasn't fun. It was boring. Like you know, there's the move controllers. Like, you think you could like use the move and throw it in? Not a controller. Like it was boring. Like I could probably play that for 20 minutes. I left after like 6. I was like, this isn't fun. And then the dude was like, you leaving? I was like, yeah, I'm leaving. It's like, no, I'm not staying for that. So that's the title for worst VR game that I played there. So I've talked about the best and worst of VR, but there's something I forgot to mention. What my game that I played the most at PSX goes to, that definitely goes to Windjammers. That game is addicting. I've played that game before on emulation, but playing it again, like, that game got me hyped for the release. I am gonna pre-order that game right now. Especially online multiplayer, like, that game gets addicting. I played that game like 5 times at the Expo. It is extremely addicting and still retains the exact same level of skill that you need like back then. You know, the game doesn't it's not like anything hard to get into, but you certainly like overplaying, you start learning tactics, and it's Windjammers. What else do you need to say? Like, great. Yeah. A game that I need to mention, Next Machina by House Marquee. That game, day 1 it had pretty decent lines, and then day 2 had long lines. It was all because of the Kind of Funny panel. They mentioned that game, and that game had a long line every second I went by there. I did get to play it day 1, and I'm happy to say that if you played any other House Marquee game, then you will enjoy this one. It still plays great, has a great soundtrack, and has the same quality I expect of that studio. So another game on my hit list of pre-order. So now on to day 2 with the panels. There was only one other panel that I wanted to check out, was Horizon, and a lot of cool stuff at that one as well. Kind of Funny games, I did stick around there and saw a little bit of it, but like I said, I didn't stick around a lot. And it seems sometime this weekend, I don't know what it was, but every time I was like, give me a leaving the area, I'm just gonna go walk around, I always ran into somebody. Like day 1, I ran into Adam Boys and Dave Lang, got a quick pick with them. Ran into Rocco from Mega 64, and then when I left from the Kind of Funny, like, ran right into Yoshinori Ono, the producer of Street Fighter V. Definitely got a pick with him. So it's like, what is with me like leaving places and just running into people? And also like, this is day 1, but I don't have video of this too. But I was like standing next to the Double Fine booth, and all of a sudden I look to the left and I see like 5 security guards guarding this one guy, and it's like there's Hideo Kojima just walking right by, and I was just kind of like, I was like, I think that's pretty cool. Just walking right there, like I said, just running into people randomly like that. One of the final things that I did at PSX was attend the final autograph signing of the event, which was David Jaffe.
and I knew that he was going to be the last one, so I decided to bring my copy of God of War 1 to have him sign it. And thankfully, I was able to get into it. I didn't think I was at first, but I did make it. And I got him to sign it. I asked him a few questions about game development, about God of War, and he was a very nice guy. He was very cool, and it was a really cool closer to the event.
So as the night drew long, I decided to make my way back out to the exit and left PlayStation Experience 2016. It was a wonderful time. I had a lot of fun there. I met a lot of really cool people. I played a lot of great games, and it was a wonderful experience. It was a great weekend, and was the perfect late birthday present to myself. Now, will I be going to PSX next year?
Oh, definitely.
I'm going to, whatever it is, I will try to go. So that about wraps up for my PSX trip. I hope you saw a little bit of what I saw. It's a lot of fun. So, this has been the first ever Gaming with Class Tackles, and I'm Gaming with Class. Windjammers, baby.